Our next question from the audience.
Should the federal government play a role in dealing with climate change, and if so, what would that role be?
We'll begin with Mr. Walz.
Yes, it should play a role, as I said, as issues and as the science starts to identify itself, and certainly and those of you, and this is the Mayo Clinic, we're in Rochester. Science is, nothing is with absolute certainty. The issue is that the folks who frame it in a false choice of either or, what we should do is we should be addressing it, but we can address it in a manner that will not only reduce carbon emissions and strengthen the longevity of the planet and the sustainability, but it also gives us opportunities to move in directions where we can create new economies, where we can be a leader. And we've seen it here in southern Minnesota, the jobs that are being created in renewable energies, the jobs that are being created in the market now getting on an even field. Now, I'm very clear about this. I think we should use our existing fossil fuels that are here, and we should use them as a bridge. We should use this opportunity now. You don't fix the roof when it's raining. You fix it when it's not raining. So we should move forward on that, and we should lay everything on the table for our energy needs, because the country that controls its energy needs will control the future. It makes no sense to me by not addressing this and not coming up with energy efficiencies and homegrown energy. We send $1 billion a day to countries, specifically in the Middle East, who hate us. They'll hate us for free. Let's get the jobs here. Let's create the incentives here. Let's move in the right direction. And at the same time, it doesn't have to be, it's not a purity test. If the science is starting to move in that direction, move in a direction that makes it sustainable, that gives us options, that moves us forward. We owe that to future generations, and we can do it. The science and the technology is there.
Mr. Hagedorn.
The United States became a great the United States became a great economic power because of abundant, reliable, low-cost energy in many respects. This issue, we have a complete divide between the two of us. He's a cap-and-trade extremist. He believes in restricting fossil fuels on public lands. He's voted to bankrupt the coal companies through these EPA regulations. He's on that side. Here's where I come down. I think we need to have energy independence in this country, first and foremost, by drilling on public lands in Alaska and other places where there's abundant energy. We need to sustain coal. We need nuclear. We need renewables and conservation. And folks, we also need the infrastructure to use the resources that God gave us. In order that it can be efficient, we can drive down costs. We need things like the Keystone Pipeline that Congressman Walz voted against. We need new refineries and distribution points that are being blocked by Obama's EPA. These are the types of things that we can do in order to not just drive down costs, but bring back manufacturing and grow our economy.
Thank you. Give a response, Mr. Walz.
Well, oftentimes, just because something's said does not make it true. I often remember my 7-year-old calls himself an astronaut. He's not one. So keep that in mind. The issue here is that there's opportunities to grow. We're doing things right. Minnesota has led on this. Our rural electric cooperatives and our electric companies in Minnesota have risen to the challenge and are doing better than anyone else in the country. And there's a reason that those people support me, because they understand the policies I've advocated for are growing that opportunity, are allowing them to do that and move us forward. And that's, again, about talk versus results, and then proud of what we're doing.
Thank you, Mr. Hagedorn. Do you have a further response?
Everything I said was true. You voted to block drilling on federal lands. You voted against the Keystone Pipeline. You voted for the EPA regulations that are going to bankrupt the coal-fired power plants in that industry, driving up people's electricity rates. Folks, when the government does this to you, drives up energy costs. It takes money out of your back pocket, money that you can be using for lots of other services and sources. And it's the type of thing, there's just a huge difference between the big government policies on that side and the free market policies on this side.